Hello, this is Lander Arrupe, and with this video I want to show you the new release of our newest COPRA FEA and RF versions. So in a short video I want to show you the most interesting and relevant new features of these versions. So we will be looking at the release notes and going through in a live demo the most important new features. So I hope you enjoy it. So we'll start with COPRA RF as usual, and going through the version release notes, we see that now AutoCAD 25 and Inventor 25 are supported, but also we have a new second CAD system we support, and this is Bricks CAD. So with this additional CAD system, our users have more choices and more um, possible CAD systems to use from, which the advantages or disadvantages each one brings with it. But we saw that Bricks stands out with minimal system resource requirement, rapid startup, and flexible license model, which nowadays could be interesting for you. So let's go get into the most maybe interesting and exciting feature, which is the real-time DTM. So we integrated DTM in the COPRA cockpit. This way we don't have to start the DTM in a separate AutoCAD window, or we don't have to load it in the project itself, but we just have to open the cockpit. So I guess instead of looking at these features, DTM live feature, let's go to COPRA RF and let's go to the cockpit. So we go to the display cockpit in the display area, and it will open the cockpit, and directly I'm in the DTM, and we can see we have the diagram, we have the 3D view of the station I'm in this case the last one. I can navigate clicking in the diagram. We have a 3D view of the diagram also. We have the possibility to dynamically change the exponent, house shield exponent, and we have our usual DTM settings here. Where we can change the material, also change the axis settings. If we have only the flower of colors, we will be using axis from settings. If already have roles axes, and also the distance is set in the station attributes, we can use it. We can directly have here the forming length developed explained, and we can here in the table change it if needed, if we have to change because of the profile stiffness issues. We can change also the factors or the distance we get actually here. The 3D view of the longitudinal elongations. We can dynamically move. We see the possibilities to move around here on the bottom. And we see that with Control Scroll, we can navigate through the stations. You can see if I let it go, it will go back to the station I was in previously. So remember, we can navigate here. We, of course, can navigate in the spreadsheet table. We can change the values live. So for example, instead of here in this station, 45 to 30, if I change to -5, we will see how this will have effects, station 7, in the area. So I say I confirm here, -5. And you saw how one reduced, the other one was increased, the last one was increased because now we have to do 25, doing 20, and on this station only 5. Also we see that the symmetry, because I changed it on one side, it changed. So that is useful. Dynamically we can see how the changes we do in the spreadsheet table, the unfolding, even the roll diameters. So if, for example, I go to the axis configurator, and if I change the, of course, the working station is the bottom one. So if I change to 60, I have to update. No, that's it. So we saw here live how it increased the longitudinal elongation because of the change of the bottom diameter. So I think this is a great new feature we have to show to all of prospects. The DTM live, of course, we can minimize. We can have it in the second window change. So we can, you see that with only one screen nowadays, we have a lot of tables in the program. So the 3D mode also is compatible with the, and a couple of more details you can see, you can read in the release notes. The help area was improved also, so now it works as all browsers, and it improves the accessibility and use of the help functions. So if I click here in the help, we'll get all this in a browser way. Good. So let's go. The next thing, insert the station. Well, this is a small feature, but the stations we say it's inserted one will not count. So go to the roles tab, and I say station 10 is in the attributes. It's an inserted station. So now we'll get the definition. I changed the sex one in the attribute. Sorry, yeah. Not in the numbering 6.1. Yeah. Okay. So it's not a biggie, but will also help. You can see at the end, of course, new improvements or small bugs we found out. I guess this one, for example, nice one, material dialog, help button is now available. Some improvement with the inch projects, and some also interesting that 4K adjustment for compatibility with the 4K screens has been improved. Yeah, go over these features and let us know. Good. So this would be a quick review of the release notes of RF. Let's go now to the FEA. In the FEA also we have some interesting and exciting features. Let's go dive into it. So we have an improved look and feel of the process control. We'll see when I demonstrate it. So we have now in the results area some user-defined ranges. So let's go to it, maybe go to the simulation, project manager. Create a new model just to show you the new features in the COPRA to FEA. So I create the folder, select the folder, load in COPRA as usual, COPRA to FEA. So the improved user experience in COPRA to FEA, which is related to the friction, and it's related to the meshing of the holes. So if I go to the meshing of the holes, we see that in the preview now, with clicking at some additional mesh info, the mesh itself will be created. So we see in the preview, the mesh is visible, and we can individually select a mesh area and change some features to make the meshing change it individually. Also, in the mesh area, we can select the hole, one hole itself, and change also some features or some settings to change the meshing of only that hole. You see that it's updated. It will update it if the change I did in the discretization is, of course, relevant. So in this case, you see that it made it worse. So this could be really interesting feature, also with more complicated, of course, meshes to make them more appropriate, as not the default settings always are good enough for all the holes. So individuality, in this case, it's really important. So the mesh of the holes has been improved. And the other feature, it's in process and it's in friction. In this case, we change a little bit the layout to make it more easily to understand and easier to make changes. So we see that now the setting of the driven or not driven stations is directly clicking at the icons. So now all the button access in the station in the machine are set. Change friction for all stations. So these are default for all stations. And then individually, of course, I can change a station itself. So if I go station 10, the top station or bottom station, we see I only have one roll. The numbering also of the rolls now are the real ones. And otherwise, so I set in station 10 the top 1 and top 3 rolls on bearings. Well, the top 1 really it's not rotating, so it doesn't matter, but and can of course change any setting or any role, any axis in the dialog. So of course you have to deselect these features first and then go to station 10 and set it. I wanted to have driven. Now I get a small hint that not some side rolls are or axes are driven. Good. So I guess this helps, I think, understands and make it more visible the friction definition of the model. Good. So let's go to start the model, create the model. So the model is now created. If I go to run, we'll see that the email notifications, now we have also the possibility to have email notifications at the end of each station calculated. So when I start simulation, we see the new enhanced process control window. Once it starts calculating the station, we will get a preview, a snapshot of the station it's calculating in this area. So we can see in the release notes. And these snapshots are the ones that we will get in the email notification once we get new every time we get a new station. Good. We talked about this. So this it's station snapshot as HTML emails. Symmetry plane to prevent the models from overflowing has been also improved and created. And in the cross-section area, we have no new areas, new possibilities to define positions and orientations. So let me open a result file. So we see this result file. If we go to cross sections, go to advanced options, we have the possibility to define planes of the cut, and we can also shift the display of this cut. So the help area also has been improved, also as in the COPRA RF version. So we knew about the info center, but now if we go to manuals, we see the new view. Which is, as I said, the look and feel, it's like in the COPRA RF. So I was saying the cross sections, we can view the change also. Half and so on, depending how we create. Good. So I was saying also, now we have the possibility to have a user-defined scalar post variable on ranges. So if I go, in my case, I have a longitudinal strain with this plus minus 0.5%. If I click use, I will see also that. Now, I did not remember, sorry, here in cross sections, we have here a compare on and off button. So once we are done with comparing, we can change or go back to the previous view mode, which I think is also nice to have. Just a small but important thing, of course, that the contact bodies in results uh, has been improved so that our, for example, the torque calculations do not have improper values when we are using new stations with new roles, new different number of roles, and so this kind of advanced things. Yeah, good. I guess I went through the COPRA FEA part, but also a hint or just a feature in the wire rolling. And this is the distance to tooling or cross section. So with this new result viewing feature, we are able to have a comparison or at least a nice thing to see, to check the difference between the tooling itself and the geometry of the wire itself in scalar mode, the displacement, or with vectorial plot or view. Good. So this was video first view of the new COPRA RF and COPRA FEA versions. I hope you enjoyed. Please let us know. Your feedback is more than appreciated.